hydraulic works. Understand? So in all that will be 7 classes, 7 days, and you must study whatever we discuss in the classroom. You must check it, and you find some uh, discrepancy or points that you don't understand. Yeah. If you don't study immediately after the class, you will forget everything. So it will be wise. You have the notes and etc. Also, Reed's book is there. It will take only half an hour to 1 hour. So, but just go through it. When you should be able to understand it better. Yes. There are some easier parts and there are some a bit difficult parts. So easier parts first, and I'll let you know what is the question type here in this control system. Terminology, control terminology is a very popular question. You know, short definition. Yes. So some of it I will be discussing before I start the main topics, and some of it as we go we'll be explaining it. Okay. So don't miss it. Right. So, uh, first up, we need to categorize the control types. Is other thing that you cannot see a pure pneumatic control system, or for that matter, electrical or hydraulic control system purely on that type. It's all mixed up. Yes, but then according to the energy used, control systems are of 3 types. Control energy. Now you need to understand this term. You see, our body, yes, is functioning because there is a blood circulation. Yes. Similarly, in control system there will be some kind of a circulation, and that we call energy. And there are 3 types of energy that is circulated in order for the control system to work properly. Understand? So they are air, and we call that system pneumatic control. And then you can have electrical energy, yes, current flowing through a system. Then we call it an electrical control system. Of course, electrical control system uses a lot of electronic gadgets, so generally we call it electric and electronic combined control systems. And you possibly have heard the name PLC, Programmable Logic Control. More or less, this is like an electric control, and which can be programmed, which can be changed. The parameters can be changed. The limits can be edited, etc., etc. But that is also an electric and electronic control. So আলাদা করে আমরা PLC এই জন্য বলি যে modern day technology, right? So sometimes we call it a different group. So it is basically not entirely a different group. According to energy, it is also an electric and electronic control system, right? And the third one, of course, uses the hydraulic, not necessarily oil, liquid as a energy. Yes, not always it is a hydraulic oil. Even for that matter, it can be water. If it is a liquid, we will call it a hydraulic control system. So is it okay? Earlier there used to be this question, how many types of control is available, control systems are available. Then this is modified. As per the control energy used, how many types of control systems are available. So now, jara ager question prepared, control energy, now they are nowhere. So you must know the DG shipping exam questions are twisted. you have to find out the meaning of it. The answer possibly will be the same as you have prepared, but the question might confuse you. So that's why we need to be very careful about the question types. Yes, in recent times, what are the questions were placed in the disease shaping exam? It is your duty to find out the question patterns of today. And then, although you may know the answer, you may not understand the question. So that's why it is very important that you study the question. Right. Next is there are so many types of system, and some of them are complex, some of them are simple, right? Some of them uses so many steps, and some of them use only one or two. Yeah. So according to the complexity of the control systems, it is also categorized in two groups. One is called the open loop control system, the other one is called the closed loop control system. Now, to define an open loop control system is very simple. A control system where there is no feedback, right? And for closed loop control system, again, just the opposite. A control system where there is a feedback is called a closed loop control system. So easy. Now the problem is, what is feedback, right? Feedback is in a sequential control, means there are actions taking place in sequence. Right, for example, if you understand your boiler operation, you start the blower first, pre-purging, yes? After that, there is a kind of flame eye which detects there is no fire, then there is no overpressure, then there is proper level of water. All these things are, signals are going to and fro, feedbacks. Once everything is fine, then only the pilot burner will initiate ignition, right? So these are the complexity of a control system. And when you have this feedback, you have to rely on the actual pressure of the boiler before you can start the boiler. The automatic system can start the boiler. Yes, it needs some, information. Okay, so that's it. That's feedback. And when in a control system there is no feedback, then it is open loop. And when there is a feedback, it is closed. Open loop control system is very easy to explain. Like for example, this switch is there, and we have only two actions there possible. ফ্যানের সুইচটাকে আমরা অন বা অফ করতে পারি, আর কিছুই করতে পারি না, right? And the fan, whether it is running, which is running very fast, and some of you are going to fall sick because of that fan running. But if you are happy with it, go ahead. I am particularly sensitive to fan, No, don't have to. You can run if you feel comfortable. I'm not affected. You are affected. Okay. So that's it. You put the switch on, fan starts to run. Which direction it is running, nobody knows. Whether it is giving you air, nobody knows. There is no feedback. The other thing that you can do is put the switch off. That's it. On and off. Yes? So that is open loop control system. The other name of it is on and off control. And still another name is two-step control. The sequence has only two steps. So it is quite simple, isn't it? And closed loop control system, there will be a feedback. I have given you one instance, এখানে একটা feedback এর ব্যবস্থা কিভাবে হয় boiler এ. It's definitely more complex than running a fan, isn't it? Yes? And that's the closed loop control system. That is a feedback necessary. তো যদি আমরা ফিডব্যাক জানি তাহলে আমাদের ফিড ফরওয়ার্ডও জানা উচিত কিছুটা। সো ফিডব্যাককে আমরা এইভাবে এক্সপ্লেইন করি যে information is sent from a later stage to an earlier stage. So like in a boiler there are in sequence there are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 functions are there. 7 actions are taking place there. Okay? So in one of these stages, say for example from 4, if an information goes to 2 or goes to 3, something like that. So from a later stage to an earlier stage, some information is going back. Like your monitor control system that is there, master controller, master relay, master controller of the boiler, it must get information from the blower that it is running, must get information from the flame eye that there is no dangerous condition inside, right? Then only it will initiate and it will work like that. Agreed? So that is feedback. Now, if we know feedback, then we also can explain feed forward. Feed forward is when from an earlier stage to a later stage, some information is sent, it is called feed forward. But when it is sent from 1 to 2, that is only a sequential action. It's not feed forward. But if information is coming from 1 to say 4, 5, 3, that is feed forward because it has overstayed the sequence in between. Understand that? See, from 1 to 2, that is sequentially one action, then the next action like that. So it is a sequential control. But if the information is going from 1 to say 3, it is overstepping number 2 step. Then we can call it a feed forward. To explain it, we can go about it like this. Say some car is going to Chittagong from Dhaka. And from Dhaka office, people are, collecting information from Kumilla, from Noakhali, and telling the bus driver that, yes, at Kumilla you have a jam, so you better bypass that. You understand? So that will be feed forward. Okay? It's clear that you can move on or you cannot move on, you have to bypass it. Okay? Easy? So that helps, isn't it? Feed forward also helps. So that's it. Next thing that we need to know when we will be going into the closed loop control system, because open loop control system hardly there is anything to discuss about. That is gone. Now we are supposed to deal with the closed loop control system and see the complexity in this control system, right? But before that, before we go on to this topic, it is also very important that we know how to prepare the control energy. In this case, for pneumatic control system, air. It's not any air that you can use. The air used for pneumatic control systems are special air, and it has got some special characteristic. Okay? You cannot just use any air. You need to prepare them. And there are two ways of preparing control air for control systems. One is you can have a special compressor which will give you specific kind of air. Understand? So there will be a separate air compressor, and most normal air compressors that you have dealt with is trunk type. You know, there is a piston, there is a conrod, and you have a kind of a splash lubrication, and you always understand there will be excessive lubrication in this system, and the air can also carry some of this oil into the stream. So that is not a very healthy kind of control air. So it needs to be treated later on. It has to be filtered, oil separators to be used, it has to be cooled, and it has to be made moisture free, etc., etc. And when we are using a normal starting air compressor, then it has to pass through another system which will prepare the air, to be used in the control system, right? And you have got this one in your chotha, how air can be prepared. But before that, we need to know what are the qualities pneumatic air must have so that we can use it in the control system. One, it has to be absolutely clean. Okay? So you will find that in pneumatic control systems, there are so many types of filters are used. Okay? The sole purpose of it is to clean it up. You cannot have any dirt in it. We'll check why it is so later on. And you obviously understand that all air compressors have a suction filter. Then there are delivery filters, right? So many filters are there in between. It has to be cool. Mind you, don't write cold. It is not cold, it is cool. Cool means normal atmospheric pressure. Maybe in engine room, some places it is very hot. So you generally will be using the controller in a cool place where main engine exhaust gas temperature is not affecting it. Right? So usually beside the control room there will be some optimum place where these controllers are fixed. Oil and moisture free must be. And where from this moisture is coming? Atmosphere. We have got plenty moisture, Julio Bashko. Right? It has to be removed. আর কিছু আছে দেখি? Anything else you want to add? No? So, absolutely correct. Pressure. Pressure কেন? এবং what is the range? Pressure is pressure is a kind of energy, isn't it? And since we are going to use it as an energy source, so it must have some certain pressure. Now the thing is, atmospheric air pressure is 1 bar. We need to have it more than that. Then it will be having some more energy, isn't it? But then, in control system, when you study it, you will find that there are so many places where from the air is continuously leaking out, bleeding out. And you always know the pressure to high hobe, draining to beshi hobe. Volume, free air, volume that will be drained will be a function of the pressure. The higher the pressure, the more will be the drained air. And then if you have too much pressure and too much air drained, and you will have to have a very high, big volume take efficiency air compressor. Maybe the size of your main engine. Understand? Your compressor will be the same size as your main engine if it is leaking too much of air. Not a very nice condition, is it? Okay. Now we study, because this sometimes come in the exam, যে কিভাবে অয়েল ময়েশ্চার ফ্রি করা হয়, কুল করা হয়, ক্লিন করা হয় এয়ার, রাইট? Another very funny thing that I see is, যখন আমি কিছু পড়াই, যেভাবে আমি পড়াই, and after that you face one assessment, correct? And you write down whatever is in your mind. You don't follow my details. Yes? And I am just not sure that whether I will give you some mark or not. Sometimes it is, blatantly wrong information. So please don't give wrong information. You can write in your own language, but no wrong information should be given in the assessment papers, be it here or there in the easy speaking exam. So in that, there are two heat exchangers in use, refrigeration type, drying and cleaning system. So what happens is, from the air compressor, a heat exchanger, it passes through a coil, basically, the air, and we know inside, from the discharge of the air compressor, the air will be reasonably hot, isn't it? Maybe even with the aftercooler and the, what is the other type of cooler? Intercooler. Okay? Even after that, maybe the temperature at the discharge can be 60 degrees or something like that, right? So this air is going to the, from the first heat exchanger is going to the second heat exchanger. Inside that second heat exchanger, what we have is the রেফ্রিজারেশন সিস্টেম আছে, যেটা ইভাপোরেটরটা এটার ভিতরে আছে। বাকি অংশ যেগুলো আছে সেগুলো আমরা যখন পড়বো আরো, তখন আমরা আরো ক্লিয়ারলি বুঝতে পারবো, রাইট? So basically this is a refrigeration system. Like this, there is an evaporator there, right, inside of this system. So this is supposed to be at sub-zero temperature now. Like your mid-room fish room evaporator is sub-zero temperature, correct? Right or wrong? So that hot air now passes through this one, and the temperature will fall down less than 0 degree. At 0 degree, all the joliyo bashpo, moisture present in the air, will condense into water and then can be drained off. So periodically the air can be drained, right? And the rest, only cool and moisture free air will come out of this one. And it will go onto the first heat exchanger. And এখানে আমরা জানি টিউবের ভিতরে আছে কি, গরম বাতাস, তাই তো? Now this very cold air will pass through this coil and gain a little bit of temperature, say something like, room temperature, 30 degree, 25 degree, something like that. In the bargain also it will be cooling down this hot air a little, right? So it will be easier task for the reefer system. Agreed? So what we have at the discharge is simply moisture-free, cool air, and with the filters associated earlier and later, this will be very much clean too. Okay? And the air is 7 bar and possibly stored in a control air bottle. Have you got one like that? Did you have? So it will be stored in the control air bottle. The pressure within will be around 7 bar. Okay? So this is good air that we can use in our control system. The other type of dryer element is called absorption type dryers. So basically, you have seen one like this in the refrigeration system. Usually there is a kind of cylindrical and inside there will be a conical type of filtering element inside which will be silica gel, or sometimes we use activated carbon filter shaped attachments like activated carbon. Now the thing is, both silica gel and activated carbon has got an affinity to water. Like you guys have affinity to girls, at least most of you. Yes? So similarly, silica gel has got a kind of an attraction for water. But for air, nothing. No, no influence, no attraction, correct? So while this air, which is having a lot of moisture in it, passes through the silica gel absorbs the water. And you may know that about 1 kg of silica gel can actually absorb about 200 gram max Zule washer. Understand? So if you are using 1 kg and it will be absorbing only 200 gram. After that, it is fed up. It will not absorb anymore. So you need to change it periodically. Yes? So how to know that it absorb korche ki korche na? So instead of that, আমরা এভাবে চিন্তা করতে পারি যে monthly or 2 monthly there will be, it will be changed. Right? New silica gel has to be used. আমাদের বাংলাদেশি সিস্টেমে অনেকে আছে এই সিলিকা জেলকে পরে আবার রোদে শুকায় আবার ইউজ করে. That is because we are economizing. Yes? It won't be that effective. Mind you. It is better to use fresh ones. Whatever. So that is how we prepare the control air. Okay? Very important. Why? Because this question comes very frequently. Understand? And now we are coming to the real thing, the meat of the matter. What is there in the Reed's book, I try to change it a little so that you guys get the complete picture. Now, don't misunderstand. This is just for your understanding about the whole system. It's not what you are going to write in the exam for each and every question. It's not like that. Understand? So, I will give you the whole picture, and for a certain question, there will be a certain segment you will have to answer, and you will have to draw maybe even. So I will give you some idea about that. Okay. So basically, we call it a block diagram. In a control system, whether it is pneumatic or any other energy it is using, does not matter. If this is the control system, processor, the central part, then it always has got three variables attached with it, three values that changes. One of that is called MV, the other one is called DV, and the final one is called corrective action at times, or if it is a pneumatic control system, we also call it PO, pressure output. So for electrical system, we will not call it pressure output. Why? Because obviously electric system e kono pressure নাই. Potential difference হয়তো মাঝে মাঝে থাকতে পারে, but there is no pressure as such. Hydraulic system এ অবশ্য pressure থাকে, right? Pneumatic system এ pressure থাকে, কিন্তু electric system এ pressure থাকে না। তো ওইটার ক্ষেত্রেও তো এরকম একটা ব্যাপার আসবে। তো সেটাকে আমরা কি বলবো? সেটাকে আমরা বলবো corrective action. Is it okay? So now all control system has these features. এবং যারা আমার পুরনো ছাত্র তারা জানো যে আমি তোমাদেরকে মাঝে মাঝে প্রশ্ন করতাম যে ফার্স্ট কন্ট্রোল সিস্টেমটা কোথায় এবং কখন রিকগনাইজ করা যেতে পারে। সেটা হলো যে আমাদের হিউম্যান বডি ইটসেলফ ইজ আ ভেরি গুড কন্ট্রোল সিস্টেম। Yes. Like for example, we have got some safety awareness, right? There are some certain things that can hamper our good health. Like for example, something coming towards your eyes, immediately what you do? You close your eyes, right? It is because there is a internal control system. That's why you do it. Now, let us explain this function. You see something is coming towards you, and you close your eyes, or you just move your head away from the line of the projectile, right? So এই ফাংশনগুলোর মধ্যে আমরা দেখবো যে তিনটা ব্যাপার আছে। একটা হলো ডিজায়ার্ড ভ্যালু, যেটা আমাদের